All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I'll bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JayH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. Listen, I'm underneath the APWU. I am a driving safety instructor. I've been around for half a minute, and I've been watching this union shit for years. And today, I'm coming at you because something came out on the APWU website from the outgoing president, Mark Diamondstein, a person that I said, oh, I kind of like how he delivers his message. But what he spoke about today made my mother blood boil. They put out a podcast talking about organizing the unorganized. And before I move forward, I want every single craft to know this message will affect you. It will affect you. It will affect you. See, before they pulled a little fast one and they had contractors working. And they happen to have the contractors up underneath the APWU, the American Postal Workers Union. And man, you listen to the first 5 minutes of this shit. And they call it industrial unionism. And check this out. Organizing. You ready for it? Organizing Amazon workers underneath the APWU umbrella. If you want to hear the original, look, I got it in the pinned comment, the first pinned comment. If you go and you stray and you watch it or you listen to it, cool. I won't play it here because I got too many copyright things going on here, but you can listen to it for yourself. But I'm going to read what they said, and then I'm going to dissect it piece by piece. And let me say this plain. The move, in my opinion, is betrayal. That's leadership that's more interested in counting bodies and dues than protecting yours and my damn job. It will affect the carriers. Trust that. And y'all can say, well, it can't happen. Well, it is happening. It's happened already. We do have outside contractors right at this moment that are underneath APWU. You ain't got to believe the old man. When you could go on the APWU website and go scroll through about 2-3 years ago, they're bragging about, getting 10 roads as a contractor, basically doing our work. And I spoke to Jonathan Smith about this the other day. So you ain't got, Jay, you're just full of shit. No. I know the carriers be on some shit where they feel like, it never affect us. Listen closely. It's betrayal. That's leadership that's more interested in collecting them dues. You see me? Don't let that bullshit fool you. And I'm going to walk through the scam, in my opinion, explaining the damage and tell you exactly what to do about it, in my opinion. First, they're pitching some bullshit about APWU leadership frames this as industrial unionism. It sounds really good. It sounds historical. It sounds like solidarity. They say we should organize everybody. This is his words. In the mail, parcel, sorting, and delivery industry. They present it as raising the floor. Meaning, when they go to union contracts, this is word, when they go to union contracts, they compare our wages to other like-minded people or like companies, and if their wages are too low, we have nothing to fall back on. Protecting our wages by lifting everyone else. This is what he says. They call it a moral obligation. Those are great words. It's a pretty plate. But the reality is dues as a survival play. It's not a protection play. It makes APWU leadership a manager of decline, representing the very workforce that is taking your work. It normalizes outsourcing of our work. Oh, they work used to be USPS. Yeah. It's still industry work, so it's covered. What? It weakens our leverage in the contract fights. Less USPS work. Yes, less USPS only work gives us less control. With more contracts equals less power. There's no beating that. Now, I could be crazy. Now, I want to know, how many people did they talk to about this before he did that? Tell me. How many people did he talk to before he did that? So, I'm going to break it down line by line. I'm going to paraphrase basically what Diamondstein and their field organizer, which is somebody in the MVS department. And I'll tell you basically the grit of why, in my opinion, that's some garbage. Number one point was industrial unionism, organize the whole industry. See what that means? We want to sign up as many workers in the logistics space as possible. More members does what? Equals more dues. More dues equals more money for the union. And why that's bad? When the union starts representing workers employed by companies that are actively taking work from us or eating our lunch, you stop being the defenders of a trade and start being a basic bookkeeping outfit. You see me? It's arithmetic, not strategy. No. Do you think a company that's actively contracting out USPS work is suddenly going to stop because we represent its warehouse workers? No. They're just going to keep the work moving to the cheapest option that gives them the best margins. Now with the union, they're going to say, well, it's organized. We get paid in membership numbers. They get paid in contracts and free hands to automate and outsource the rest. Amazon outsources their own work. You ever see those, what they call it, Amazon Flex? Somebody just throws on a vest, comes drive up to your house and delivers some freaking cords. Come on now. Number two, they raise the bottom. That bullshit, that arbitration argument that you're going to hear when you listen to it. They argue that if the private sector wages raise, arbitrators will compare less favorably against the private sector, protecting our wages. That's their cover story. That's the shit that they're talking about. But the reality is, arbitrators compare real and comparable unionized private carriers, UPS, and the Teamsters, not Amazon warehouse temporary people that barely last 2 years. Amazon's pay and classification structure is like apples to oranges compared to our postal craft. So this legal justification that they're talking about is just some bullshit and some smoke. It's a weak lawyering move to rationalize a money grab. That's reality. I don't care how much he says in his podcast that he's always been an organizer of unions. Damn, Mr. Diamondstein, I'm disappointed with you, brother. Moral obligation to organize is what you said. So they are tugging at my heartstrings. We have to help other workers. What? That's noble, I guess, but not when your help is basically the Trojan horse that infiltrates your computer, man. There's a moral line between organizing people and letting the same people be used to stripping the jobs away from your own members. If your help accelerates the destruction of the job you swore to protect, that's not moral. No. Come on, man. His His fourth point was, this shit is bothering me. Protecting the entire industry. Families need jobs. Yes. But what about the motherfucking workers that work here right now? What camera's on? The people that work here right now. That's how they sell it. We are protecting families by giving them union representation with Amazon. What? What families? Or the families that now work at Amazon with no route, no craft protections, or no long-term job security. Real protection of families means protecting postal jobs first, not representing the company that undercuts our own work. We've been sitting here getting in the ass by Amazon. You hear the carriers complaining about they're getting freaking 80, 90 pound packages and we get paid pennies, but now we're gonna represent them? Listen, I'm gonna give you the cold consequences behind this. What this move actually does, not the sugar-coated promise, what the actual fallout could possibly be. Number one is the consequence of outsourcing our work. It will accelerate. We got away with it with the truck drivers, and now they want to start talking about outsourcing more work. Come on, man. Contractors run fleets, non-postal entities. They pick up from the plants, subcontracting, the sorting, the subcontracting. Who's that damn company? Damn, see, this has got me so pissed, I forgot. Pitney Bowes. They have mail things, right? Y'all look them up. I don't want to get into that. Pitney Bowes. They got trucking contractors. For those that don't know, Pitney Bowes has those machines that people go to and you have them at the big offices, and then they have, their machines look identical to the plant machines. And see, that becomes justification for the Postal Service to refuse certain work that we already do, or to say we have other partners that will do that work. The more industry is separated from USPS, the easier it is to cut back routes and transfer the volume elsewhere. And the union is standing in front of the line that does not stop the contractors. It just legitimizes them. Like I said, I just spoke to Jonathan Smith the other day, and he said, he'll tell me about it. Sometimes we have people, and I'm going to try and fight to get that stuff back. And I respect that he said that. But now, that was 3-4 days ago. Now here we are, and they're talking about this, and I'm just getting a whiff of this, and I'm just, I don't like the smell. It's diluting the craft from MVS to clerks to maintenance. Each craft has a defined job classification and bargaining history, every single one of them. But when you turn a postal craft into logistic worker, you are chopping up the definition of each and every one of our crafts. Craft protections become diluted. And that's how seniority rules get mangled. That's how the pay scale gets flattened. That's how our pensions and our retiree benefits get hollowed out. Ooh. Next consequence could be you're not going to have more leverage at the bargaining table. Numbers without the concentrated leverage equals nothing. If they stack the books with Amazon workers, but our actual postal volume has dropped, the union's power in the contract negotiation drops. The company itself is going to point to industry standards and ask for concessions. Those that don't know, concessions means, well, you're going to have to give this up. You're going to have to give that up. You might have to cut this job. And the concessions will be postal workers. But we don't have this anymore. We don't have the mail sorting machine. No. So we can just, Pitney Bowes is doing the work, so we don't need those workers. And on the flip side, Amazon workers will lose too. A lot of people will think that it helps Amazon workers, but who benefits first? Leadership and people that collect the dues. Amazon workers will be in a union with a name, great, while the actual company still controls their scheduling, their staffing, temporary hiring, their automation. The union becomes a partner to that shit. We're organized while the company continues to pull from them. They got 1 million plus workers. The workers on the floor, they'll get a little, freaking membership card and they might get a little tiny win, but the big picture, it continues to disappear. And then they talk about this historical trap they set up. It's about solidarity. Solidarity does not mean helping the company that is actively replacing our workers, our jobs. You just heard not too long ago that Amazon is hiring more people to do more rural work. Solidarity means protecting home plate first. We raise everybody's wages. You don't raise the bottom by moving the work out of the bargaining unit. That's math. You move the floor, the people that are here right now. The wage numbers become meaningless when the job is gone. Let's talk about when they say, oh, it's the future. We must grow. Growth that kills your own core business. That's bankruptcy, dressed in your fancy language. Growth without preservation equals extinction. Ooh-hoo-hoo. They say we want to organize the industry. I say at what cost? You want APWU workers Amazon workers underneath APWU, that's fine. Then tomorrow, the Postal Service says we're going to shift more of our package volume to Amazon contract networks. Why? Because now APWU has representation in those warehouses. The USPS says it's still industry work, and those routes, they're gone. You're losing clerk hours. Your leverage is gone. That's not protecting jobs. That's selling out to the highest bidder. They say, we got to raise the bottom to protect arbitration cases. Here's a news flash for you. Arbitrators compare against UPS and FedEx. Not no fake. I hate to knock Amazon workers, but they're not. Moral to organize. I'm moral too. So here's my moral test. Do you protect people by making sure their children inherit the same secure job? Or do you collect dues from people while letting the company just from the inside on the job that paid for all those benefits? If Amazon means handling if they're just going to keep taking my own people's work, I don't want that kind of moral victory. I don't. Numbers equal power. You could have 1 million members on paper and zero leverage at the contract table. You can have the union payroll filled while the rank and file just gets cut. And the service is continually getting slashed. That's not strength. That's an administrative survival technique. You see me? At the expense of your own postal family. As you start off your podcast, Postal Family. I started that shit. Don't take it. Don't. Call them what you used to call them. You didn't even call them family. You used to call them brothers and sisters. I call them family. Please don't be fooled by the nostalgia. They keep telling us the same thing about back when they had the Staples fight. We'll find a way. Then a lot of us push back, and we won some things. But we also watch the contracts creep up. Now they want to put the same contractor in our union house. That's a joke. Listen, if you're a union member and you hear this, here's what you need to do. Like today, you need to demand a membership meeting today, not next month, today. Push for your local and an emergency session to explain exactly what the APWU national plan is. Not no vague language that you can't understand. You need some specifics. Ask for some written policy. If APWU signs Amazon workers, what protections are guaranteed for existing USPS craft jobs? This is for the carriers as well. Get that shit in writing. Ask for receipts. How will the dues from Amazon workers be used? Will they go to fighting the privatization or run the union seatbelt fund? Y'all need some damn transparency on what they're spending the money on. And if you don't like what you got to hear, you need to organize your own damn petition. You need to get some signatures from your own locals, some of the retirees, and some of the active carriers, and demand a moratorium on any national organization of private employees until a further analysis and how it will affect you is published. They can't just sit there and say, well, I think this will do this. I think this will do that. Nah, you need some real data. You need to record everything. You need to keep copies of what they answer you. You need to put them on video. You need to put them on, You need to hold them to their words. And you need to push some public pressure as well. I'm disgusted. I'm sorry I ranted about this, but I'm not sorry at all. And I know they watch and ask me if I give two damns. I don't. If you gonna go and do this, the question is why? Why? I heard your video. I heard your audio, and it sounds good. Have you spoken to the locals yet? Have you? Or have you given up on the locals? You have a house built. So you said, hey, come visit my house. No, you can't do that, cousin. You can't do it. We got some cover for you over here. You want some of our food? No, you can't do that, man. Can't do that. Maybe Jay's overreacting. But you know what? It's my channel and I have an opinion. And there's a lot of people that don't like my opinion, but honestly, all I hear is talk. And I don't sweat that. They ain't gotta like me either. I respect that. If you heard this message, I need you to share this with as many people as you know. I'm falling out the algorithm right now. That's by choice. That's by choice. There's a lot of others that are riding my coattail, and I'm putting a stop to that by not posting the way I used to. Strategy. You see me? But when I come back, JayH is doing what he does best. Talk that shit. And I'm out.
All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I'll bet that.